Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio on Connection show today is Dan Thomas. Dan's been with us before. We appreciate you coming in, Dan. Thank you. Had to fill in again. Dan is with us as director of K-Life, and we appreciate you all the good work you do. Most people, if they've lived in the Harrison area for a while, they know what K-Life is, but maybe just in case somebody's moved here or they don't know about it, maybe just give us a little brief synopsis of what K-Life is all about.
So K-Life is a non-denominational, non-profit parachurch youth ministry.
Okay.
And so we come alongside churches and parents. We're very active in the community and investing into youth, some that don't go to church or don't have the opportunity to go to church. We're an organization that provides a lot of fun and then an opportunity for the gospel to be presented.
Well, and you hit on it. You make it fun for the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, young people, well, maybe no different than they ever were, maybe even in my day, but young people have changed. You know, a lot of times to really catch the attention of a young person, you've got to put a little more into it than just the straight line type information, and I think you do that. That's one thing that K-Life has always done, at least since I've been moved back to Harrison, and K-Life got started about the same time that I moved back here. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. About when did K-Life kind of get over? And let me ask you this: was K-Life actually a part of a national program, or was it actually started here as an entity itself?
So K-Life started in 1979, and it was a part of a kind of a problem that Kanaka Camps had with their campers, thinking we go to camp in the summer, but what do we do during the year?
Okay.
And so K-Life branched off of that. K-Life in Harrison, we're either the third or fourth.
Okay.
Haven't quite been able to figure out
which one. But
we started in around 85, 86.
Okay.
So started establishing the program in 85 and then really started kicking off our clubs in 86.
Okay, so its conception was from Kanakut, actually.
Yes, a summer sports camp.
Right, which has been
Christian-based.
forever. It's in the Branson area, is that right?
Yes, Branson. There's one in Lampe. Then they now have several that travel around and do like a VBS program at different churches in about 5 different states.
I didn't realize it got so big.
They just keep growing.
That is big. And again, it's a great camp for young people. I'm sure a lot of people in this area at one point in time have had their children going to Kanakut camps, and you hear a lot about it. It's great fun for the kids. And as Dan mentioned, it was a summertime camp basically at the time, and this is a great extension of that program. Age group wise, Dan, where do you start? Is it elementary kids, or where do you start?
So we put most of our focus in junior high.
Okay.
We do a program for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then we also do one for high school, 9th, 10th, or 10th, 11th, 12th.
Okay.
So we have a junior high and a high school program. We'll do small groups for them, so opportunity just to be able to sit down in God's Word in a smaller group setting. And then we do another program called Super K for 5th and 6th, which is to introduce them into K-Life, introduce them in our club setting, but we don't do small groups with them until they reach 7th grade.
So they get in. Do you try to separate, I should say maybe separate, but do you do the junior high age group and the senior high age group in separate settings, or do you put them together? We
will, on some events, on occasional, we'll do all of them together, but typically we'll do them separately. So we'll have a junior high club with junior high, and then when they break up for small groups, they'll break up typically in grade and then also gender. Okay,
because it is a big age gap there from a 7th grader to a 12th grader and some point.
Absolutely.
How often do you actually try to have events during the week or the 7-day week period?
So we do an event on Monday nights, which is called Club, and then for junior high and high school. And so we start about 6, and we'll do different things with junior high at the beginning, and then we'll end with high school at 9.
Okay.
So we do both of them within that 3 hours. And then on Thursday, the 2nd and 4th Thursday of each month, we'll do something called Super K, which is for the 5th and 6th graders, like we were talking about. And then we do another program for high school called Deeper, which is just whoever wants to come in high school, we just start digging deeper into God's Word. And so kind of like a small group setting, just a little bit more inductive in God's Word.
Okay. And do you do all of these sessions at the K-Life Barn?
Yes.
Which is right there next to the high school on Goblin Drive.
Yes. So right, we have the high school, and then just south of them, we have our facility. It's a barn, so we call it the K-Life Barn.
Yeah.
And it has a couple signs to identify us.
Yes.
We have a sign down by the road, and then we have one on our building that says K-Life. And so all that takes place there, yes.
Some of the activities that if for those of you in the viewing audience, if you've never been there, as I've just mentioned to Dan, they just put up a new sign, which really identifies them as K-Life, and it's out on the road there, a lighted sign, actually, a very nice sign. But as far as inside the facility itself, what are some of the things? It's been a long time since I've been in your building. Some of the things you do for the fun stuff that with the kids.
So we have what we call a barn swing, which is probably one of the highlights of what we have.
Okay.
And it is exactly what you think. It's a swing inside the barn. So we have a foam pit underneath. We have a platform, and you'll sit in a chair or a seat, kind of like you would a swing, and then you swing in a circle. So instead of going back and forth, you swing in a circle.
Oh.
Then we have some other areas downstairs that we'll play a game called slam ball. It's a mixture between volleyball and tennis.
Okay.
And then we have a basketball court outside, and then we have an area we call it our loft where we'll do our programming, and we play games up there also with the kids.
Okay. So try to again keep the fun aspect, but still
it's very active.
Very active. That's good. That keeps them coming back too. To have, obviously you want to get the word about to them, and but being a non-denominational makes it nice because you're not, any faith can come there, or like you say, some may not have the opportunity or haven't had the opportunity to have a church.
Absolutely.
And this gives them a chance to listen to God's word. So that's great. What do you do as far as the? I see different things, and we're going to talk about an event coming up here very quickly. But to raise money, I know you're 501c3. How do you raise money? How do you get money into the K-Life program?
So we have monthly donors that'll just consistently give. God's just put it on their heart. They want K-Life to exist, and they'll consistently give. So that's one way. And then we do it through fundraisers. We have a golf tournament we'll do. We do some things with the radio. We have a tournament coming up. It's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We've been doing it ever since we started. This is, I believe, our 29th or 30th one.
Oh, wow.
And so very, very consistently just doing events to raise money that way.
So and obviously then you have donors that kind of tie to the organization itself, and
yes.
that kind of keeps you going and so forth.
Yes.
And you have two of you actually paid positions?
We have 2 full-time staff that work with us all year round, and then in the summer we'll take off. A lot of times we'll work at Kanaka camps in the summer, and then we'll be back on when the school year kicks
when you
up.
start in the fall again. Kind of gives you a break and lets you do something different too. Well, we got about 5 minutes left, Dan. Let's talk about this event coming up. It's your 30th annual K-Life Banquet, which is actually coming up on Monday, March the 7th from 6 until 8 p.m. It'll be at North Arkansas College in a Pioneer Pavilion, which is at the South Campus of North Arkansas College. I want you to speak a little bit to that event itself.
So this event, the K-Life Banquet, is going to be one of our larger opportunities for K-Life to be funded through.
Okay.
We're selling tables for the event. We're feeding everyone that comes, and then we've asked one of our directors previously to come back and talk. And the guy who's coming, you have in front of you, his name's David Horsager, and he wrote a book after being a director at K-Life here called Trust Edge. And he goes and he speaks at different companies, to their boards or just groups that are overseeing the company, and talks about how you can gain the edge based on trust in your corporation. And so he's going to do a phenomenal job speaking at the event. It's going to be worth coming to.
Well,
sure.
I just vaguely remember him actually when I moved back to Harrison. David was the director at K-Life at that time, and a very fine young man. I must say, looking at the short resume of some of his accomplishments, David has done an outstanding job, not only a national bestseller book, but he's been featured in publications like Forbes magazine, the Huffington Post, Wall Street Journal. He's spoken to large corporations such as Wells Fargo and the New York Yankees, Goodyear, and Department of Homeland Security. So that's a pretty strong resume of different people that he has touched through the speakings that he's had, and of course had served as director right here in Harrison. It's nice to have somebody move to that level when they've been here. So Dan, look what you got coming up for you there.
That's what we're looking at.
Anyway, so we do want to tickets, or do you have to get a ticket?
So we're selling tables.
Okay.
$400 for a table, and that seats 8.
Okay.
And then you can invite whoever you like. Or if you're interested in just buying an individual ticket, we can accommodate that as well.
You can do that. Should they contact you or where do they contact to get the tickets or tables?
Joanna McCall.
Okay.
Her number's at the bottom. there.
501-690-3125. I'm assuming she's one of the directors.
She's one of our board members,
Yes,
and she's
okay.
taking care of all the
Taking care of that part.
invitations and
Very
and all
nice.
of that.
Well, I must say that it's a very nice event. I have been to one of their banquets. It's been several years. This is the 30th year. Obviously, they've had them for many years. But it is a big fundraising event for them. Not only can you help out K-Life by attending, they always have a great meal. Some good testimonials from a lot of the students that will be there that'll speak how K-Life has affected their life. The silent auction looks like you're having again this year, and a little bit of entertainment and so on and so forth. It's a really nice event. Again, this year they've expanded out. It's at Pioneer Pavilion. They always have a big crowd, so you have your tables set up down on the floor there, I'm sure, and so forth. And did I miss anything, Dan, on as far as any information here? Did I cover everything okay?
I think you covered everything pretty well.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, Dan, and talking about K-Life. It's always good to see you, and anytime we can help you here at the station get the word out about K-Life and the events that you're involved in, why, certainly give us a call or come by. We do appreciate that, and we think you do a great job over there. K-Life is a very good program, and a young person like you involved makes it nice for those young people, those students, junior high through the high school. They can communicate with young people like you. So thanks for your hard work.
Thank you.
Don't forget about the event coming up. It's the big K-Life Banquet, their 30th annual event. It'll be at Pioneer Pavilion right here in Harrison. The date on that is Monday, March the 7th from 6 till 8 p.m. Give them a call at 501-690-3125, and Joanna McCall will take care of you on that. You can purchase a table for $400, or if you just want to go as an individual, they have individual tickets as well. Again, thanks, Dan, for coming in. Thanks for joining us on Connection. We hope you brought some information to you. Stay with us. We'll check the second half of our show in just a moment.